This is where we air the talk show from, so a little later there'll be like a bunch of microphones and stuff set up in here. So I'm just gonna leave some things here. We are going to a subcommittee meeting that has to do with banning female genital mutilation, and I think it'll be interesting because there might be some members of the public there who have personal experience with that.
It will put underground to many communities who are already underserved, who are bound to contact, carry to fund, and from the Iowa.
Since there's no audio system, I just have to walk around with my microphone and record what everyone's saying.
Women of color are.
Then I'll take a couple of audio clips from what happens and make it into a story for the radio. Hi. My name's Katerina. I'm a journalist from Iowa Public Radio. Could I just get the spelling of your name so I make sure I get that right? Is that okay? When I turn on the radio, it's like I hear from people I never would have heard from in my daily life. Whether it's the governor or whether it's someone who's, worried about their food assistance benefits being cut. I guess it just opens up a wide range of perspectives. I mean, is there any attempt to make sure we're not having all callers who think the same thing about this? Good journalism is just anything that's fair and balanced and accurate. I'll be jumping in at some points. Just always worried, am I explaining this in a way that the average person can understand? Am I bringing in all the important perspectives?
So tell us a little bit about what this proposal is about.
It's about changing how judges are picked in Iowa. And so currently, the State Judicial Nominating Commission, which recommends names to the governor for the appeals court and the Iowa Supreme Court, has 17. So that people can make their own decisions about what to think about things.
A bit of a solution in search of a problem. I'm very worried that
Public radio always has the best interests of the listeners in mind, instead of what's best for driving up clicks or driving up viewership. It's always about what's best for the listener.
I grew up listening to public radio. My family would put on a Prairie Home Companion, and I remember Ask Dr. Science very well from when I was a kid. I associated public radio with serious news and classical music. You might need to edit this part heavily. But they also had this music show on at night that was playing alternative rock. That didn't even occur to me that you could do that. .6:30 is Marketplace, and then coming right out of that, here's Tony Daner playing the Black Keys. So we got Emily King, James Brown, told you about that. We will spin discs for about half an hour. A band will come and play for half an hour. Tonight it's the Maytags. There are some artists who, if it weren't for public radio or college radio, they wouldn't be on the radio at all. Local artists for sure. Hello and welcome to Studio One Underground on Iowa Public Radio. My name's Tony Daner. We've got quite a night ahead of us. In about 30 minutes, we'll hear our first set of music from the Maytags, great band from right here in Des Moines. Be sure to stick around. Let's get this show started. Here's one from The Replacements. It's one of my favorite nights of the month. It's fun for us to meet listeners. It's fun for us to hang out with the band a little bit. We get to put on a really cool production, but we also get to kind of be in the audience too. It's completely different to see people enjoying it. Ideally, at least one person finds their new favorite band. Then we've kind of done our job. It's the Maytags on Studio One Underground. So good to see you guys again and hear your music again. So good to see you too. Yeah, thank you. And we've had you on a bunch of times. It's always...
Without water, there's no coffee. This is not a rich organization. We don't have fancy furniture. We don't have high salaries. We're just here doing our job.
21 minutes before 11, fresh air coming up at 11. Later today, here and now from...
I loved radio. I'd been listening to radio since I was a little kid, 6 to 8 years old in the 60s. The radio is my friend. They're right there with you. Being on the air, you're reaching thousands of people. They're in cars, they're in their kitchen, they're in their bathroom, they're in the garage hammering away at something. They could be doing anything.
We're talking about how this long, snowy winter has impacted wildlife in the state, and we'd love to hear from you. What are some of your observations?
Nope. Yeah, this is all of our archival stuff in here. All of this stuff I saved from the basement of the old building. Well, this is our broom. I don't know what this is doing here. I've done public radio since '81, May 1st, '81. It's an old radio. This would be from the 1920s. This is a radio program, an actual program. The Arlington Classic. I don't know why we have this. This is the studio I was just talking about where I can't imagine life without public radio. I feel strongly that this is a service that is valuable to this country. I would support it even if I weren't an employee. I still learn something every day just from listening to the radio. Snow flurries have moved out, partly cloudy for the rest of today. Highs in the upper 20s to low 30s north, mid 30s to mid 40s central.
I started listening to public radio because they were playing more local music. They were playing music that nobody else was playing.
Oh, hey, that's where those batteries got to. Cool.
And I always thought, man, that is the coolest thing. Today we're trying to bring a symphony orchestra to somebody sitting at home and have it sound something close to what it would be like if they were sitting here. We put the best mics we can in front of them. We try to make it as clean a signal path as possible. In a perfect world, it would be a seamless thing. So we try not to augment it too much. What's nice about these mics is if they get stepped on, it doesn't hurt anything.
That's a microphone.
Yeah, it's a boundary mic. A lot of the mission of public radio is giving voice to people and musicians that might not otherwise have a chance to get on the radio. So, where do you want to, like maybe does that opening riff and then drop it and you start talking?
Yeah.
Ah, this is the fun part.
We're coming to you live from the Great Hall of the Gallagher Blue Dorn Performing Arts Center on the UNI campus in Cedar Falls. Good evening and welcome. The audience is still assembling out in the hall, and that will be a welcome from the Gallagher Blue Dorn's Executive Director, Steve Carignan.
Okay.
Also known as the Force of Destiny Overture. You're listening to Iowa Public Radio Classical.